In the ever-evolving world of finance, we've embarked on a transformative journey of innovation, where the way we manage payments has evolved tremendously. At the heart of this revolution lies open banking, a pioneering concept that has unlocked the true potential of digitalization, enabling customers to share their financial data securely with trusted third parties. Open banking has redefined how we interact with financial services, breaking down barriers and fostering seamless connections. It's been a catalyst for change, revolutionizing payments and empowering fintechs in the Nordics to reach new heights and offer customers better, simpler, and more convenient experiences. We asked some of the frontrunners in open banking services what this remarkable technology has enabled them to do for their customers.
Open banking was not built for the banks. It was built for the consumer, right? It's a consumer tool. It allows us, or consumer service, it allows us to build powerful financial tools on top of that, helping the consumer. But it requires consumer consent. It is the consumer's access to using that data, right?
Well, Luna is utilizing open banking in multiple different assets and in different forms. You know, we have the classic offering with AISP and PISP, allowing our users to see their other bank within Luna's universe, and also to do and run transactions from it. Thus, Luna to become some sort of a financial cockpit for everything finances. And then, of course, we also utilize open banking to secure that we run necessary credit checks, among other things, in our lending portfolio.
A couple of years ago, we chose to bet pretty intensely on open banking, which is, basically the customer doesn't see what's going on. They just see a really nice interface. They can actually do everything self-service without talking to anyone about it. They can just link up their accounts, they can do their payments, and they can get all the data. And then we can automate a lot more than we were able to do before.
In checkout, customer can make purchases using open banking and pay instantly. But if customer chooses to pay on a later date using buy now, pay later payment methods, customer can pay the invoice or installment using open banking. And what is so convenient about it is that customer can make the payment directly from our digital invoice without any separate logins to, for example, online bank. And after the payment, customer can immediately see their updated balance.
Open banking is basically the fundamental of our whole product strategy. Basically, it has turned out to be one of the biggest opportunities for us in terms of delivering a very upper-class product. So to take you back, accounting has been a very manual process, both for the entrepreneurs themselves who are doing accounting themselves, and also for the bookkeepers and so on.
Definitely so. It all starts with the regulation, right? So it started with EU coming out with PSD2, giving the banks a gentle push to share their data, transactions data with third parties. I think that in itself creates an advantage for Europe and for the Nordic countries. Then you have the factors that I mentioned before in terms of collaborative environment, a highly digitized infrastructure, and very innovative countries. And then I think that all in all definitely puts us in the forefront when compared to many other regions.
MasterCard has been at the forefront of this digital revolution, and with its steadfast support, these fintech pioneers have expanded their horizons, reaching further markets and giving customers a world of possibilities at their fingertips.
There were, of course, several reasons why we chose to team up with MasterCard. One is the product. Their solution is technically strong and reliable, and of course also secure and compliant, which is really important.
Well, the reason why we choose MasterCard is obviously it's a really big global organization. So we trust that they know that what they're doing. So we trust them with safeguarding our customers' data, living up to legislation, which can be quite hard. Everything is changing all the time. We have PC3 coming, but we have someone who is expert on that because we are not.
We chose actually AIA or Nordic API Gateway all the way back in 2019, and we've actually stuck with them since then, and they became a part of MasterCard, which was definitely a great thing for us as well because it's reliable, you know them, and the infrastructure is just great.
We work with MasterCard on a number of different projects. So doing it here was an obvious choice for us because what we have found in MasterCard is a partner that understands the customers that we're working with. They are active on the hallways of the banks today. They listen to what it is the banks need. They understand some of the non-functional, some of the fundamental needs they have when they have to buy a service. It's a solid, trustworthy partner that we have in MasterCard when we're looking at open banking data.
Well, a few years back when we were to choose partner, we were looking for someone who was really Nordic oriented, had all the relevant connections with modern APIs, and we saw MasterCard as a great fit to that proposition, as Lunar today is operating also across the Nordics, Denmark, Norway and Sweden. And we tested out the APIs and saw that they could match our criteria, so it was a match made in heaven.
We've been doing networks since we started as MasterCard, and I think that gives us a really nice way to add value, do it in the right way. Focus on the quality, focus on the security for our consumers, but also for our customers so that they can use a trusted network. And that's why we started in open banking, and we strongly believe in the value that it adds to the ecosystem.
The Nordics, with their widespread use of digital ID, its digital savviness and trustworthy institutions, is role modeling to the rest of the world how open banking can unleash unprecedented transformation in the industry.
I think there's definitely a cultural perspective here. I think the Nordics is there's obviously small countries, it's a smaller region. The banks are used to collaborating in different data centers and between each other. Much of the infrastructure that is being built in the Nordics are actually being built also as a public-private partnership, digital identity being one of them. So I think in various other areas, the banks are already collaborating, and there is a very collaborative environment.
And no surprise that we're today in the Nordics. I think the Nordics has always been a powerhouse for innovation. We've seen that in payments, our traditional business, the adoption of electronic payments, digital payments, mobile. And so I think there's a continuation of a really strong drive to make things and make life easier and better for consumers and businesses. And so I think the Nordic has great potential. We've seen the leading in open banking. We see adoption happening very strongly here. We're seeing new use cases. And I would even say sometimes we don't even see it because it's embedded in our daily lives. And I think that makes it even more powerful because you don't necessarily need to see it. You just experience that it's slicker.
And at the forefront of this fintech revolution, we celebrate visionary companies that have dedicated their time and efforts to understand and solve the challenges customers face daily. They've harnessed their skills and talents to design technology solutions that work invisibly, with minimal friction and maximum impact. MasterCard has been at the forefront of this digital revolution, and with its steadfast support, these fintech pioneers have expanded their horizons, reaching further markets and giving customers a world of possibilities at their fingertips.